The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 186.
Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Visit our blog at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a special lady on who's also from my city of Toronto. She is a mindset coach, and I'm just excited to have her on and share her story with us. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Wendy Saw. Wendy, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Sure. Thank you so much, first of all, Sheena, for the invitation. I'm so glad to be on the call here with you. So basically, my journey started when I was looking for a solution for myself. I had a condition called fibromyalgia. Many of you might have heard about it now that it's a little bit more common. I was told at the time that this was an incurable disease, and I had really big reaction to medicine. So what happened is I ended up diving in and saying, you know what, I can't take this medication anymore. I got to find a way that works for me. So I started doing a lot of studying and doing energy work, mindset, mind, body, spirit, just a whole host of different things. And, the fibromyalgia completely disappeared from me. And then this basically led me to what I do today, because I realized everything is really about mindset. And today I'm working with all my clients across the globe, helping them with their mindset and coaching them in their life.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Wendy, what's your cultural background?
I'm Chinese, originally from Hong Kong. I came to Canada when I was 17 for high school.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
This is my favorite. Being you is the greatest gift to the world.
I love that, because people forget that, we have so many gifts inside of us that we tend to forget, and that everything's really just inside us. We just have to ask the right questions. So I love that quote. Great quote that you shared. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
That's really going back to being you. And I look at it as knowing who you are, trusting that you know what is true for you, and then to follow your own unique path. Because there is no formula. Everyone is unique, everyone is individual. And the minute that you describe who you are, you will be able to pursue what is right for you. And the confidence is part of knowing who you are.
Awesome. And I love that. And especially with like Asian women, right? I mean, we've been told all our lives to just follow a certain path. And if we don't follow that, we're doing things the wrong way, when really we all have our own journey. We have to stop comparing ourselves to other people, because we're meant for other things. So I really love that definition that you shared with us. And what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
That was exactly what you were talking about earlier. Before that, I was totally someone that was following anyone and everyone. Everyone around me knows better than I do about myself. And I guess part of it is really, the cultural background of listening to the elders and all that, right? So I was very much busy just listening to anyone and everyone. And I do it according to what they suggested for me to do. So it was very exhausting. Plus, I spent a lot of energy because I wasn't being me. So I was trying to fit into the society. I was trying to fit into what other people expect of me. That fitting in part was really exhausting. And then at the end of the day, I didn't get the result that I was hoping, because I wasn't being, true to who I am.
I think we all go through that, right? We all try to fit into this box, into this mold, because we've been told to all our lives. We've been conditioned to do that. And if we don't, we feel unaccepted by maybe our parents, by society, by a certain country. And we have to realize that we don't fit for a reason. And like you said, if we go our own way, our true, divine purpose, that's when the magic happens. And, what was that point in your life when you realized you didn't have to follow what people told you? You could do your own thing, go out there and be the person that you are today.
That was the moment when actually I came across a tool called Access Consciousness. And I don't know if you've heard of that tool before, but up until that time, I was still focusing on fixing myself, thinking that there is still a wrongness about myself. And I was focusing on undoing and recreating in a way that works, but not for myself yet. It was still working for what others thought is appropriate for me. And when I came across Access Consciousness, it just opened up a door for me to realize it's not about fixing, it's not about correcting. It's really, I know who I am, and I have not been listening to myself, and we're just too busy finding out what works for others and what works for, I don't know, my parents or someone else, and not really being myself and asking questions, asking what do I know that is true for me. And when I have that moment, that aha moment, everything's changed. I apologize there with my dog barking in the background there. Yeah, and totally, it's really a mind-opening and eye-opening experience for me to realize I have the answer, I know who I am, and I don't need to fit in.
I love it. And that's one thing that we forget, right? We don't always have to fit into that mold or that box. We can be our own person, go out there and live life to our design, to our liking. It's just that, society has been just ingraining in our heads that no, you have to go this way or else that's not how you live life. And, when you got that tool, Access Consciousness, what's your life been like now?
Oh, life is totally different. I make choice. So one of the biggest challenge for me was afraid of how the result may turn out. And I put such significance and emphasis on making the right decision and making the right choice. And now with the tools that, it opened my eyes to realize, you know what, everything is just at that moment and I can choose again. And I can choose again. So the significance completely disappeared in terms of making the right choice. And now I'm just living my life in the moment and really owning who I am. And everything just changed. I follow what feels right to me, what I know to be right for me, and just trusting it and doing it. And one of the biggest things is I completely changed my business model from a clinical environment to an online model, just coming from following what I know to be right for me. And I would tell you, I would never allow myself to do that in the past for, just this dynamic shift of mindset allowed me to open to new possibilities that I have never allowed myself to experience. And it's just been so much fun being spontaneous. Creation becomes so much easier. Just really, really living in the moment. It's beautiful. Life is just, dynamic. It's just great.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I'm glad you are able to do things your own way and how you feel. And sometimes when you do that, it works out even better than you realize, right? The results are much better because you're being your true, authentic self. So, Wendy, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
I would say really discover who you are. It's worth every time, energy, every ounce of it is worth it. Discover who you are. And if you ever really hit the wall, don't be afraid to get assistance. However, the journey is yours. We don't have to listen to anyone. The moment when you step into your shoes and own who you are, every door will open up for you.
Awesome. Lovely tip. And I really love that you mentioned that, right? Just discover yourself. And people forget to do that, right? If you have to go take a trip by yourself, go ahead and do that. You can find out more about yourself than you never knew that was possible. So, Wendy, if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yes, my website is wendysaw.com, so wendysaw.com, wendysaw.com. I also have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com, and then Tap Into Your Best. So it's TAPINTOYOUR, best, BEST, Tap Into Your Best.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Wendy, you can also head on over to thechildselfconfidence.com and search for Wendy's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I just want to thank Wendy for taking the time to share her story with us. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Sheena, for your invitation. I thoroughly enjoy our time together. Thank you so much.
It was an honor to have you on, so thank you. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us on the Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit thetaoofselfconfidence.com for links to everything we chatted about today, as well as killer resources, gifts, and so much more. Start your inner journey to self-confidence today.